Constance Collett. She's a wife, mother of 2 daughters, a proud grandmother of 3. With 40 years experience as a career woman, she's now stepping into an exciting new chapter of her life. Her professional background includes quality assurance software testing, managing large projects, and leading diverse teams. Constance is also a mentor and a teacher, and very much devoted to her family and colleagues. She's known as kind, energetic, fun as well. She thrives on learning new things, solving challenges, and embracing fear and courage with creativity. Constance is committed to inspiring those to live around her boldly. Constance Collett, learning to live fearlessly.
You know what they say, that change is inevitable? Well, it finally caught up with me. I've been a career woman for 40 years, and most of that time, it felt like Groundhog's Day. The same thing over and over. How many of you know that feeling of being stuck? Longing for change, questioning if you have what it takes, wondering if you even can do it. Or desperately wanting something that you know that is out of reach. It seems so impossible. And then suddenly, the impossible becomes possible. What are you going to do? Are you going to embrace it? Or are you going to turn around in fear? My name is Constance, and I'm learning to live fearfully fearless. Let me take you back to when I was 16. My dad passed away just 10 months earlier. I was the second born of 5 siblings, and life was challenging. Despite all of that, I had a big dream. I wanted to learn how to drive. It all seemed so impossible. No dad, no car. But life has ways of surprising us. Mom started dating a guy who had a Volkswagen Beetle, and hope was reignited. 2 months in, Mom's boyfriend died. Sad, so very sad. Remember, I want to learn how to drive. Much to my delight, the Beetle was still on our premises, and so was the key. Compassion aside, I was so excited. I ran to my mom and I said, Mom, please teach me how to drive. My mom laughed at me. She said, my girl, I know how to drive, but I never drove. I've always been a passenger. Pinky promised to myself right there and then, I will not be a passenger. I nagged my mom until she caved. I dragged her to the Beetle. I got in and I looked over at her, my own personal hero. By the grace of God, we got that Beetle out of the driveway and into the street. It jerked and it jumped and it leaped inch by inch, and we almost made it 100 meters down the road when Mom called time out. My whole body was shaking from top to bottom. I tasted adrenaline in my mouth. Fear literally shook me, and I was changed. Inside of me, I screamed, I did it. That first drive with the Beetle taught me to be courageous, helped me to face my fears, and helped me to take on new challenges. But life had more lessons in store for me, and not all of them came with excitement. My mom, my very own hero, she was quietly fighting her own battles. She started to rely on alcohol and medication to cope, and my hero started to fade away. Suddenly, I wasn't a teenager learning to drive. I had to become a stand-in parent for my younger siblings, taking on roles and responsibilities that I didn't ask for or didn't even understand. And one of those moments when Mom had some clarity, she called me aside and she said to me, God gave you to us. to look after us. That calling landed on me like a shadow. For 35 years, I took on that responsibility. I became the pillar for my siblings. I worked hard, I kept my head down, and I made sure that there was enough to go around. I became a wife, a mother, and an unyielding guardian to my siblings who never fully let go of their grip. I wanted new things in life. I wanted change, but the guilt and the responsibility chained us together like an unbreakable bond. But don't worry, this is not all doom and gloom. There's a 16-year-old in me that was pressing in and looking for a place to looking for her space to come into. I started scuba diving, standing at Alival Shore on the beach. It's a warm summer's day, we're getting ready to dive, and I was so excited and so fearful all at once. By the time that we had to launch, my heart was pounding so hard because we were going to dive Raggy's Cave, the keeper of ragged-tooth and black-tip sharks. We reached our destination within minutes. Our instructor called out for us to launch. Within moments, I transcended into another universe. Vast amounts of waters, beautiful colors exploding everywhere, tranquil, and I was absolutely in awe. We reached our level out destination, which was 15 meters. I looked over at my instructor, waiting for the next signal, when suddenly chaos just surrounded us. There were sharks everywhere. My heart was pounding so loud. I breathed out so hard that the bubbles exploded into the waters. And I was so fearful. Panic clawed at my chest. I didn't know what to do. But finally, my training kicked in and I started to regulate my breathing and I slowed down and I started to calm down. As I looked up at my bubbles, I started to look at and I said to myself, this is time. And I let go of my past, I let go of my responsibilities, and I accepted that 16-year-old back into my life. So from that moment, that first shaky drive in the Beetle, to taking on the responsibilities of looking after my siblings, to diving with the sharks, I realized that courage takes on many forms. Most often we need to step up, and other times we need to let go. For years, I lived someone else's dreams, and I lived someone else's responsibilities. But I kept my own promise, and today, it's becoming a reality. I will no longer be a passenger in my own life. I'm stepping up and taking control. I want to leave this question with you. What one thing is there in your life that you can change that will bring you what you've always wanted? Change isn't easy, but neither is being stuck. Today, it is your choice, and the moment is yours.